Isn't it exciting to realize that you know better? Have faith in your own bad taste. Life-affirming movies can be such a drag. Get more out of life. See a fucked up movie.
Grab your barf bag and prepare to look away for this egg-citing new episode where we'll be looking at John Waters' iconic hit, Pink Flamingos. Drag Queen Divine stars as the criminal Babs Johnson, who, along with her freak family, must contend with the schemes of Connie and Raymond Marble, two perverts who seek to claim Divine's title of the filthiest person alive for themselves. Carla Hayden, current U.S. Librarian of Congress, deemed this movie to be significant enough to add to our National Registry of Film. If she could find merit in a whistling prolapsed anus, surely we must be able to also. Okay.
I had to Google who our Librarian of Congress was.
Was she the one who put it in the registry?
Yeah, that's who chooses every year.
Ally, dude. Fucking ally.
Yeah.
And hater of chickens.
Welcome to another episode of today's review of Assorted Cinema, otherwise known as the TRACcast. I'm 1/4 of the buck, Trevor.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Christian. Hi, hello.
And welcome to another episode where we have four guys talk about a movie.
Heavy content warning, not only for this episode, but for the movie in general. I do recommend you watch it if you are over the age of 17. It is good. It is influential. But there's a lot of stuff that is there for shock and a lot of stuff that doesn't age well, even in the context of shock. We're going to be discussing rape. We're going to be discussing harming animals. We're going to be discussing sex in general. So if any of those things might be triggering to you, we don't recommend this episode. Go ahead and skip it. But again, this is an important piece of media for the film industry, and we do recommend it if you are so inclined to watch it and watch our episode.
Yeah, definite content warning on this one with just a lot of craziness, especially for 1972.
It's impossible to talk around the subject matter of the film because that's kind of the whole point. It's counterculture, kind of art.
Yeah, no pussyfooting.
Today's episode is John Waters' Pink Flamingos. And Aref was the one who brought this movie to us. Aref, did you have some background that you wanted to bring up about this movie? Because it was definitely an out of left field pick, I think.
Yeah, Trevor, our supreme fucking leader, was like, we need something controversial. If you didn't know, Trevor, Christian, and myself, Ryan was supposed to as well, but he had a large family event. He had a prior engagement. We went to the American. What is it called again?
We went to the and shout out honestly to the Academy Motion Pictures Museum.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, like really really cool museum. If you are a movie fan, definitely worth a visit. Definitely worth a ticket. And there was a specific there's an ongoing like rotating exhibit, and this one that's been around for a while has been John Waters, who I like heard of and kind of knew about before like visiting and going into that exhibit, but I didn't quite know all of his influence before.
Yeah, neither did I. And that was a big reason for my pick, is because
totally.
John Waters is a big name, not just film, but very, very big in queer culture.
Totally.
And I was taken aback that I had never heard of them. I mean, I've heard the name, right? But I never really heard of their scope of work and
you've
what
like
they did.
seen him referenced and stuff, and like,
all the time.
Actor in movies.
Yeah. He's definitely one of those people that's kind of, at least he's sort of just in the kind of cultural milieu of, like people know the name and you see the silhouette and you see, like, oh, I know that guy, but you don't really like, you might not know his specific kind of body of work.
Not to mention my fiance's favorite musical of all time is Hairspray, which
Hairspray.
He directed
the first film adaptation.
Add on to the fact he cameoed in the Scooby-Doo movie too.
Yeah, he did.
I'm pretty sure Yeah, this dude has got his grubby little
like
fingers on everything.
He's in a very iconic Simpsons episode where
yeah.
Yes, homosexuality.
Literally everywhere.
So like it took you like the exhibit took you through like the different like films that he's done. And now that I'm thinking about it, that was the little trailer. Spoiler alert, the trailer that they live in, or the trailer that they live in, not spoiler alert. That was what was recreated in the museum that you sat in to like watch the little preview, because like there was this little preview for Pink Flamingos, and the trailer was literally all of the people's reactions to seeing it. Yeah, remember?
Yeah, we saw it.
And it was like it's a disgusting movie, which like I think it's dubbed like not only is Divine the most filthiest person, but it's like the filthiest movie of all time.
The film's tagline is literally an exercise in poor taste.
Yeah.
So
very, very interesting, and just very, very. This was a hard watch, but not like the hardest watch, but a hard watch.
Yeah.
It was. I don't think it was as bad as I found it to be, but like there's a couple scenes where they just push over the edge a little bit too much for my comfort.
Push the envelope, you would say.
Yeah, totally.
It kind of fits that classic movie narrative of like going to the movies is with the intention of making you feel something, and that something here is disgust. It's very much intentional. And I mean that's why it's only really recommended for adults.
The film is actually quite like it's smart. Like it's playing into itself, and it presents a lot of like really campy, like silly ideas. The delivery of some of the lines, and like the lines themselves are just so like left field, and then like there's a little bit of like satire critique there. Like there's weirdly like something to see in it, you know?
It's very like obviously pushing the envelope on purpose. It wants to make people uncomfortable. But it's also so like unabashedly like true to itself in a weird way. Yeah. Like they're just kind of presenting these characters as they are, and they're horrible people, but they're so like true to themselves, whereas everyone else is kind of these kind of phonies, in a way.
And it's quite funny, honestly.
There's some funny parts,
very funny parts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when they're not trying to be like just straight disgusting, the writing is like fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny.
So funny, and it holds up.
Liners.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. It's definitely an absurdist humor, which I mean has kind of picked up again as of recent years, but it's funny. Like the movie starts off with a showcase of the different characters, right? We have Christian, you're gonna have to help me out with this. I don't know names.
We meet kind of in this kind of backdrop of like there's a narrator who's like, oh, here
it's John Waters is the narrator.
Yes, John Waters is the narrator. And we meet the criminal, a criminal, Divine, played by Divine. But she's living under the pseudonym Babs Johnson in the film, the character Divine.
Yeah, her alias, her gamer tag.
And Divine lives in this trailer on the outskirts of Maryland with her mom, Edie, who lives essentially the whole movie in a playpen.
Like a baby gate. Oh
yeah.
My god.
And Edie is probably one of the most entertaining characters, I think.
Yeah, she's so funny.
Very interesting.
She is egg-pilled.
She's very egg-pilled.
Then there's Cracker and...
There's Crackers, who is her divine son. And then I think just a woman that lives with them.
Connie.
Her named Cotton.
Cotton, that's right. I don't. Am I crazy to believe that it's like they're not like blood related, right? Or like am I supposed to believe that they are blood related?
I think everyone's related except Cotton.
Okay, because I thought it was like a weird found family thing, but I guess maybe I'm wrong.
I think a found family sounds right. That seems what it's given. They're obviously
at least
not
I
related.
hope it's a found family. thing, given the. But then again,
I mean, I don't think the movie would draw the line at that part, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah.
ay, ay, ay.
But no, they all live in this. They all live in this trailer. And Divine has been dubbed, seemingly by just the newspaper.
Yeah.
The filthiest person alive, which is something that she is very, very proud of. But there's only two people that are not very proud of this, and that's our villains.
Yeah, our antagonists. Everybody in this movie is an antagonist.
Yeah, Connie and Raymond Marble.
Wait, okay, and before we get too into it, because we're gonna get into some stuff, like, here and there. But, like, I do gotta say about the Marbles. They were quite the funny foil to watch. Disgusting at times, but, like, what was the actress's name? Something Mink?
Mink Stole.
Mink Stole. Yeah. Connie stole the show.
Fantastic delivery, just like, oh my god. Anytime she was on camera, it was just so funny.
She had a delivery of like a no bullshit 70s receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where she just kind of like told it as is, and she just like fires off like the funniest insults constantly. When these two are introduced, they are essentially running an adoption agency.
In quotes.
In quotes. Plot twist is actually a sex dungeon. They farm humans.
Yeah.
They have two slaves at the bottom. It's horrible. It's horrific. They have two slaves at the bottom, and two female slaves at the bottom, and then a male servant who, quote unquote, impregnates them against their will, against his will for that matter. Inseminates them. Yeah, it's horrible. It's disgusting. But I guess that's the point.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things. Also, like these are obviously horrible things that happen in the film.
Yeah.
But it's all presented so plainly and so over the top that it almost doesn't register sometimes. The horror of it.
We had a large discussion too about how like a lot of what you're watching is like what people say about like people that are kind of on the fringe,
Yeah.
Like sometimes like people say that like I think that's one of the big things about this is like John Waters I think went out to like record like a lot of the stuff that like made this story this kind of idea and this with these characters and all this like and put them in these situations that reflects like the terrible things that were being told to them, like with the people around them, like lesbians go to these farms, and these farms are run by these crazy people with hair that have
who dyed their hair.
Yeah, and it's like it's quite interesting to dive down that.
This is exactly where I was planning to branch off into this discussion as well, Trevor.
Yeah.
And I do want to point out that just to reiterate what you said before I point something out.
Yeah.
Essentially, this is how we all perceived it. I'm kind of speaking on the collective here. And as Trevor said, this movie feels like a drag on the perception of drag, right? A drag on the perception...
drag to the extreme.
Yeah, drag on the perception of... or drag on how LGBT is perceived, at least during the time. That's how we interpreted it. And that is a common interpretation that I've seen. There's a debate around that. A lot of people think that Waters made this film with the intention of just inciting disgust and kind of reveling in the disgustingness of what like humans can achieve. But I personally don't see it that way because there's a lot of things that are a little bit too on the nose.
I feel like some of it definitely. I feel like it's sort of
I think
maybe.
it's both.
I think it's both.
I think both are correct.
Some moments definitely do stand out as kind of critiques or calling attention to something, but I think a lot of it does kind of have this very like this kind of punk rock mentality of like, I'm going to make you uncomfortable, status against the status quo, counterculture,
Well, and it's like it also is like taking that like idea of like adopting, like because like how the LGBTQ community like kind of gathers around like derogatory like words now and like uses them and like repurposes them too. Like it has a little bit of that. Yeah,
reclaims them.
Yeah, in a way.
My cousin said you could say it, Trevor. Just go and use the words.
No, I'm.
But no, there's definitely definitely like a there is this very like punk rock, sarcastic kind of snark to the film, which I admire a lot.
It's not like, I don't know, it's not like diamond in the rough status, but it's like there's things to like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
that's you know.
I just to dive onto that angle as well, the whole punk rockness of it is I think it even ties back into the first analysis that we had where they're kind of doing a drag on the perception of drag, where that they're almost like, okay, we're seen as misfits, we're seen as outsiders, we're seen as deviants, like let's just dive into that as much as possible and be as countercultural as possible. So yeah, I think that's a good take. Is this movie kind of fits both shoes. It is trying to be deviant, it is trying to be disgusting, while it's also making fun of its own perception, which I think works. There's definitely some stuff that doesn't age well.
No, there is.
Yeah. I think especially with the dungeon and the marbles, right? Like there's
And the
there's some
chickens.
there's yeah. Well, we'll talk about the chickens.
Well, so I was just about to say that like the Marbles' whole scheme is like they want to know what Divine's weakness is, so they have this like girl that they like paid money to go like sleep with Crackers, Divine's
Some information out of them.
son, to get information out of him. And then there's this scene, and like we're not gonna like dwell on this scene too much, but there's a scene that involves...
Probably the one scene I had to like, one or two scenes. This was one of them I had to like. I could not watch this scene.
I would say that this is, in my opinion, probably one of the most disgusting parts of the movie.
And I think in some of my kind of brief research, kind of looking into kind of behind the scenes stuff about this movie, I think even John Waters has been on record and been like, it's this scene or another one, but I think he's like, I regret doing that.
Fellatio scene. He doesn't.
Oh, it's
like
that one.
fellatio
Okay,
scene.
sorry, it's that one.
Yeah, that scene's also strange.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I have notes to talk about.
We'll get there, but
but anyway,
like to me, I don't care about. Well, we'll get there. This scene involves two people, with sexual relations and chickens. That's all I'll say about it. I think that's all we should say about it.
The chickens are injured on camera.
Yeah, the chickens get injured. Let's just say that.
The saving grace of it, according to Waters, was that the chickens were harmed, but they were killed and eaten afterwards. According to the actors. But regardless, it doesn't age well.
No, it's just strange, and it doesn't even like, it doesn't feel disgusting for disgusting's sake either. Like you can do something different and like still be weird.
Obviously, it's not like it wasn't a smart thing to do. Obviously, and it's not. It's very cruel, regardless, doing the scene. But like, was there any? I don't know if you know, Aref, but like, was there any like comment about like, if that was the intention? Like I have to assume it wasn't the intention for them to get hurt, and then they just were like, oh, we have to run with it. We just have to like put them out of their misery, kind of thing.
Yeah, Crackers was too rough with the chickens.
I didn't see anything about the intention of it, but even if there is intention with it to like make a point or whatever, perception of it within the comedy movie, it does not come off well, regardless of intent. It doesn't come out.
Overall, it seems like a weird scene in the whole thing.
It's just bad taste.
Well, there's another weird scene.
It's just meant to shock you, really.
Well, like it's not even like shocking in a good way. It's just like weird shocking.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? What's happening here?
It doesn't add to anything, and it's bloody and gross, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll move past it.
Yeah. No, it was probably the worst scene of the movie for sure.
As a palate cleanser, I think we should get to the Eggman.
Oh, right. We didn't talk about that at all.
Character.
Before we move on, I do want to point out though, harming animals during this time of movie making wasn't that uncommon.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't just a John Waters thing. It was very That's why like a lot of like 70s 80s like stuff involves like dogs and like animals and stuff like that, like and they got like really really popular, is because like like dogs on camera, like to like kind of sort of train them, was like a super huge lucrative gig because they didn't have to pay an actor, you know?
Yeah.
So they saved so much money, and they paid like an animal handler, and it was just to do with treats, you know?
I mean, for fuck's sake, like in Willy Wonka, when they're in the nightmare tunnel, there's stock footage of a chicken's head being cut off. Like,
yeah,
it's in that,
true,
for
too.
God's sake.
But moving on from this scene, which needs to be touched on. So it's established the lady that gets berated by the marbles comes in. She screws with crackers. Hilarious names, by the way.
Yeah, gets the info, I guess.
She gets the info, which is literally just the fact that they have an address.
Yeah, that's really it. But like through this, we've also met, you know, Divine's mother.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Edie.
Who loves to eat eggs.
She loves eggs.
She like
Eggs.
every scene with her is just like freaking out about when she's gonna get eggs, and
This
loves this.
is that like absurdist humor that I love absurdist humor. This is absurdist humor, and I think it's so fucking funny.
It is funny. It's funny.
The joke is strictly on the character. They're not punching down. The character is just talking about how much she's
obscure.
fucking. She just loves eggs, dude. She's talking about eggs. The Eggman comes. There's an Eggman, right? First of all, they have chickens. They chickens.
They do own
that
chickens.
can produce eggs, right?
Yeah.
Yet there's still an Eggman that comes to supply this woman with an absurd amount of eggs, and he opens this glowing briefcase of different sized eggs.
It was like a velveteen briefcase. It like the inside of it like had these cushions that like showed off the eggs.
It was so funny.
Yeah, display.
And he's dressed like a milkman. Like,
yeah. Very odd.
Yeah, the Eggman gonna fuck your mom is crazy.
And he is.
Her passion for eggs, it's non-sexual. Almost everything in this movie is sexual in nature. Almost everything.
Yeah,
sexual or violent. She just has a passion for eggs, like how, you know, those kids you knew when you're growing up had a passion for trains.
Yeah, it's true.
She's probably the most pure character in this film.
Yeah.
While she is odd, she is probably the most pure. I agree.
But she has a very loving relationship with the Eggman.
You're so right, though, that like in a movie that's so sexual, that she is this like guiding light. That like it's just like whenever she's on screen, you can always be relied on that she's just looking out for her eggs.
I know when she was my safe space.
She's in her own other movie.
Yeah,
she is in her own other movie. She's doing her own thing.
She's having a romance with the Eggman.
Because she goes and gets married to him.
Yeah, they get married.
Yeah. We can honestly, we don't have to go chronologically through her arc because she attaches
she's there.
nothing.
She wants her eggs.
And then the Eggman has a similar passion for eggs. He provides her with what she wants. They get married. It's really sweet.
Well, and they get married during the montage scene that happens quite like this movie does that thing where it's like there's a lot of montages of just like weird stuff happening.
Yeah. Well, this kind of does tie into kind of the chronology because they get married after Divine's party.
Yeah, which is her birthday, which is when she got the gift from the marbles, which was just a poop.
Yeah, it was just predicted. Which
that was like the chicken thing happened, then that happened, and then I was like, what? How filthy is this movie? Like, you know,
is this
like
really the filthiest movie?
Yeah, I was confused about its filthiness. I was like, well, you know, putting a fake poop in a box and then like, you know, which was a hilarious scene when she like picked it up and she vowed to like, you know, kill them or whatever. So funny. Divine is such an icon and just such a, you know, personality to watch. Hilarious. But yeah, like just like I was like, okay, like we had this weird chicken scene earlier. All these characters are doing some weird things. And then, like, these two guys who are like, we want to be the filthiest people alive, poop in a box and send it to them? And that's phase one?
They're continually showing that they're just not up to snuff with filthiness.
They really aren't, like, trying in the filthiness department.
Yeah.
Like, other
Plot
than the
twist.
sex dungeon thing that they have going on. Yeah.
Plot twist, the marbles, not that filthy. You know?
No, they're
not
really
that
not.
filthy.
They're all bark, no bite.
They're wannabes.
Yeah.
They're wannabes.
Especially when Divine's filthiness is typically a lot funnier too.
It's more pure.
Yeah, she pretends to pick up hitchhikers and rushes off.
Yeah.
It's like petty bullshit.
And kind of speaking on the marbles, we kind of flip back and forth between them. We learn a bit more about their whole operation, which it's so horrible, but it's like so comically evil that it's like they have this horrible like adoption agency, like black market baby ring that they have going, and then they use the money to like fund like porn stores and like heroin dealers in elementary school.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's so comically evil.
Yeah, they use their sex slaves to open up porn stars and fund heroin fronts.
Yeah.
It's like
so over the top disgusting. Like Christian said, it's
and then they also get money by there's two scenes where they show it, and it's where Raymond like he goes to parks and
that's right,
flashes himself to like scare women away, and then
he attaches his dong to a salami, like a long salami, and then shows himself off.
And then when they get scared and run away, then he just steals their purse.
Crazy.
He steals the
what
purses.
a tactic.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, sicko.
And
Number three, weirdo. Number four, why go through the dong manipulation with the salami to draw attention to the?
I guess
it's
so.
literally smaller than the.
He's just a
he had some like sexual gratification stuff.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I get it.
They're perverts, Trevor. They're perverts.
Well, right, and it's very clear when that because then they suck on each other's toes.
Yes.
For like a whole 3 minutes. It's so.
I will say, just to kind of touch on it while we're on it, because there's the two sequences where Raymond is doing that, where he's like flashing these women in the park to steal their money, and then there's one scene later where he's doing the same thing, and he flashes a woman, and then the woman's like, "Ooh, look!" and like she shows her shows him her breast, and then she flashes him, and it's a pre-op trans woman, and then he's like, "Oh," and big thing.
That was really funny.
I want you to know, I cheered when that happened.
Yes.
I cheered, dude.
It was really funny.
It was really funny because
Billy got taken down.
It was one of the first, and actually, it's probably the only trans reveal in a movie that I've ever seen where the joke isn't on the trans person.
Yeah, it's on the offender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, think Ace Ventura. Oh, she has a penis. Oh my God, jokes on the trans person. No, this trans woman shows off her stuff, and it's making fun of the sexual predator, which in a movie that's supposed to be inherently disgusting, somehow they're able to get it right, which is crazy.
But as a fun little fact about that, that woman, the trans woman that played that character, she was friends with John Waters, and she works with him in a lot of stuff. But she was pre-op transgender at that time. And she went under gender confirmation surgery a week after that scene was filmed.
Whoa!
So yeah, I think maybe she was like, "I'll do this part as a send-off," kind of.
That's so funny.
Exactly. And in my research, it looks like she was actually one of the first trans women to receive that surgery at Johns Hopkins.
What?
Pretty interesting.
Oh wow!
I just love that.
How
1972.
How landmark? I don't know how cornerstone.
There's so many, cool legendary firsts in this community that are associated with this movie. It's so cool.
That's very interesting.
Really cool.
But yeah, so there's all that stuff.
There's all that, and then that's when they send the turd because it's Divine's birthday. And then you get this montage of Divine's birthday party, and a bunch of gross stuff happens, and that's when they get married.
I think there's a bunch of hilarious shit happens.
It's very funny. Before that, though, I do want to touch on one character that we kind of go back and forth. He's not like a huge character, see. About Channing.
Oh yeah, their sex servant.
The servant of the marble.
Oh yeah,
this horrible sexual offender that lives with them. And he has this little subplot, I guess, where he's the marbles catch him dressing up as them, and he's making fun of them to himself. And then they're like, "Oh, we caught you making fun of us. We're gonna lock you in this room or whatever. And I don't know, his whole thing was very bizarre and strange to me. But there is some justice that happens later on in the film.
Yeah, he's just such a weirdo, and it's like later on, I feel like you're like you're not meant to like feel bad for him, but like a terrible, like he gets castrated and bleeds out and dies, which is a good thing because then the people escape. The prisoners escape from the sex dungeon. Spoiler alert, but it's a good thing. Yeah, Channing was quite an interesting character that just kind of illustrated that the Marbles don't even like the people around them that help them do their schemes.
Yeah, they don't even.
To be stink maxing and all their shenanigans.
Opposed to the quality family that Divine has.
They have a very Jesse and James from Pokemon aesthetic.
You made that joke, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It's literally like freaking the hair and everything. Oh my god!
Just to kind of wrap up Channing, his whole arc, and this is where I think that another part where the movie falters, and it's something that has been built on and just and changed over time to be more accustomed. But stuff like that can be described but not shown. And again, this goes back to intent of the movie. If the intent of the movie is to be disgusting and push the envelope, sure, I get the point. That's why we're shown him getting castrated. That's why we're shown him putting his cum in a vial and impregnating a unconscious woman. It's
in his hand. He didn't even have a vial.
No, it's just going back to it. There's a lot of stuff where I'm like, okay, this can be described and not shown. We can still get the effect of it. And I'm not saying that I don't want to see disgusting things. That's fine. But what the problem is when we're punching down, we're the joke is rape or the joke is or the joke is assault of some kind, and that's where I got really uncomfortable. Is when that's kind of being described. But like I said, that's not uncommon for the time.
No,
it's for the 70s, so it's like why I can't be too harsh on just this. I'm going to be harsh on the whole industry for not being more progressive on this. But we have grown, we have learned. It's you have to point it out when you're going to talk about it.
It's so crazy too because you have that, and then scenes later. Like, help us, like, help us get out of here so that I can go and get an abortion. I can't give birth to this baby.
It's so on the nose of like,
I have to get an abortion before this baby's born.
Yeah. And we're younger guys, right? Like we're young enough. We're all fucking late 20s now, but we're young compared to this movie. It's so crazy how the dialogue hasn't fucking changed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's the same old shit.
Yep. 1972.
But yeah, at this point we have the big party. It's a big bash. Everybody's there. Even a woman with a Nazi armband who's just there.
Oh my god.
Who we don't have their name, but I was looking at the cast list and like the character names. I have to assume that is the character who is credited as Patty Hitler.
Yes, her name is Pat Moran.
Yes, as Patty Hitler. No lines. I just think it's very funny that they gave that character a name, and that was the name they went with.
Oh no, she actually had a bigger part of the movie. They cut her scenes.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So
according to the source that I'm reading right now, lead scenes. Yeah, John Waters was talking about how Patty Hitler scenes were cut. Essentially, she was visited. Patty Hitler was visited, and she lived in like a room like full of swastikas and other Nazi memorabilia.
Oh.
And she had lines, but they were cut for time, which this movie's already short. I don't know why they cut it for time, but whatever.
Yeah. Maybe they went to their distributor, and even they were like, "Okay, you can't put that in there."
To be fair, the absurdity of a Nazi just being at Divine's party was in and of itself really fucking funny.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out.
This is where you see the iconic butthole scene. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, the whistling butthole.
Well, if you've seen like famous internet like goatsy, it's tame. You're gonna be fine. but to like the average person, it's gonna be shocking.
Which, like, no wonder people did walk out on this in 1970. Like, that probably was where a lot of people drew the line.
Yeah,
I didn't know the ass could do that.
1970. You don't have access to the internet. Like you're not seeing these like absurd body things.
No.
Like you've seen maybe fucking 3 titties in your life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. It's not just on demand. It's
I know.
crazy.
So this is like absurd, crazy stuff. Even me now, I'm squeamish with this kind of stuff. I couldn't really look through it. It wasn't nearly as hard as the chicken, but it was still difficult to watch. So imagine being a fucking, just dude walking into a theater and just seeing inside this man's asshole.
Yeah.
Which that whole story, I think, of that guy is interesting too, because I had read that I had read that he was the only one that wanted to be uncredited. He did not want to be known by name as that guy in that movie.
Right.
And it was only after his death that I think John Waters asked his wife if she could have his blessing in revealing who it was, and then she said yes. And it was only then that we knew who that was. That guy.
Ryan, I'll give you $5 of our $5 of my cut of our sponsor revenue. If you're able to tell me this man's name without looking it up, I'll give you 5 seconds. 5,
We're
4,
not, by the way.
3, 2, 1.
Antonio.
Nope, it's David E. Gluck, which I just thought was funny.
David Gluck.
David E. Gluck.
David Gluck.
Yeah, this was post icon. He, Christian, if you didn't know, he didn't want to be credited and he didn't want to be known for his family, but he would go to premieres and talk about how that was him.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's really funny. This guy's hilarious.
Bullshit.
I don't want to be credited, but I'll just say that that was me.
Do it.
And while I find it gross to look at, I have no judgment, and I will say he is talented.
He was very talented. I give him props.
I looked away. I'm gonna be honest.
It's one of those
Yeah,
things
high
where I
dexterity
looked
on
away
his
at first,
ass.
but then you kind of get used to it the more it goes on. You're like, oh, okay.
Man, no, not me. Could not do it.
But that party is a hoot and a holler. They actually they literally do poppers on screen in that scene.
Yeah, they do.
And I think there was something that John Waters said where it's like there's a bit where you see Divine start laughing like uncontrollably.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was when it kicked in. That was when the drugs came in.
Oh, was it? Was it confirmed poppers? We were speculating while watching.
It was, yeah. It was,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting.
And she's gifted a medley of things, including a rotting pig's head, presumably bought from a butcher, not killed for the movie. It's hard to describe this cleaver, but it was like
It's like a bloodborne weapon.
it was like a brick weapon.
It looks like the saw cleaver.
It looked like Whitebeard's weapon from One Piece.
Yeah.
It was
like a huge
this
cleaver on a stick.
gigantic, like, weapon of mass destruction on a stick.
It was pretty cool.
It was quite cool.
The unique weapon.
But they're having a jolly old time. Then the marbles they find this place. They find the address, and then they call the cops on the party to break it up.
Right.
Call the cops. Now this scene was
This was so funny.
pretty cool.
so these 4 police officers arrive on the scene.
What were their names? They were named. I think it was like Trevor, Ryan, Aref, and Christian.
No.
Sounds right.
I would never mess with Divine for fear for my life.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, they
Rest
come.
in peace, Divine.
You rest in peace, Divine.
Rest in
Icon
power.
for real. But no, the cops show up and they don't even like try to understand what's going on. I think they just kind of start coming in, like, oh, what's going on? and then the crowd like hides, and then they all come out of the trailer and start beating the cops
And over the trailer.
yeah. They start beating the cops to death, and it's like that scene in Smiling Friends where the demon.
I was literally thinking the same thing, where the demon's
party.
like, "No, this isn't blackface. I'm just a demon."
And then they'll start beating up.
It's just face.
Like.
Oh my god! I just watched that episode. That's so funny.
That's literally that scene, because like all the cops roll in and then they just like are like, oh, they just beat the shit out of them and then eat them.
They start ripping them to the cops apart.
They start eating them. It's crazy.
They have a
comically large bones that would not be in a human body. they're just eating.
And nothing comes of it like later on in the movie. Like it's as if nothing happened.
So absurd and gross and horrible.
Meanwhile, the marbles are like, "Fuck! Phase 2 and Phase 3 didn't work. Sending the poop didn't ruin the party, and neither did the cops."
Yeah, there's not really too much to say like about like what happens in the movie, other than like they kind of just like escalate the prank war to the point of burning down their trailer, like the trailer that Divine lives in.
Yeah, Divine. Yeah,
or did we miss anything else like super big?
No.
I just want to point out before we move on. The party is kind of where I realized that the plot is kind of really only there to string along scenes.
Yeah, totally.
So this is where I stopped trying to like really follow along with what the hell was going on in logic and just appreciate what was happening.
It's just Maryland. This is just another day in Maryland. I like no harm to our Maryland like listeners, but like no offense,
cool.
Their flag is
awesome.
Great. I'm sure your state is great, but like this, like it seems like normal Maryland activities.
This is a brief message interrupting the podcast to talk about our sponsor. Well, how the fuck Trevor says Maryland?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's Maryland.
You're very phonetic.
Maryland. Anyways, this has been our sponsor. Thank you so much. Use code TRACK and check out.
Maryland?
Yeah.
What? Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland.
Anyways.
Whatever. All right, whatever. Oh.
Okay. All right, Christian. Bring us back on the fucking rails.
They leave to go burn down their house, but Divine also like goes to their house, and that's when like she frees.
They'll lick everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They lick everything, and then they also free the sex slaves,
which we don't know at this point. But Divine and Crackers are licking everything in their house.
Oh,
and they're sort of like cursing. Their house.
They're like, "We hate you. Yeah. We hate you, Marbles. You're the worst for people."
Yeah, they're putting a hex on all their furniture,
spitting and licking everything.
A filthy curse.
And this goes into my least favorite, my third least favorite scene.
This is my second worst favorite scene, next to the chickens.
Actually, no, I'll put it number 2 as well.
It's just like, why?
They go, and it's because so essentially they're licking everything. They're like, we gotta be filthy. We gotta make this place no longer want them around. Which first of all, that goes into something. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
But it leads into like this weird incestuous fellatio that Divine performs on Crackers, which was really uncomfortable.
Did you see it?
Yeah, very odd.
Do you want to tell Danny Mills' perspective, the actor for Crackers?
Yeah. So little fact that I read about the movie is that this was the only movie that Danny Mills was ever in, because he was kind of ashamed of this movie, and he was not very proud of the stuff that he did in it, and he was so ashamed he did not want to do any more acting. But yeah, I think from what I read, it was just, this was a very uncomfortable scene for them to shoot because they were both friends, Divine and Danny Mills, and so they weren't really into it. And I think, like we said earlier, like Adam said earlier, this was I think the one scene that John Waters said that he regrets making in the film because it's very uncomfortable.
I do want to note though, he says he thought the scene was dated. As in, like, it was just kind of like, it was kind of old school, and that this movie called Throat had been released.
Yes, that's right. Because this was, I think he said it was kind of like meant to be a shot at the big kind of porn boom of the late 60s, early 70s, because Deep Throat had come out.
Yeah.
And it was a very iconic, like, in theaters, straight up just porn movie.
Porn. Yeah.
And I think this was kind of his, like, I at least his explanation was like, oh, like, well, you guys want to see, you know, porn on screen. Well, how about this? And, like, let's just go further with it. Like, to shock people. But I think it didn't really land.
Do we have John Waters to thank for the stepmom and stepbrother categories?
Oh, God.
Oh, fucking thank God. Thank God.
He pioneered it.
No, I don't like those.
Trevor.
Washing machines everywhere salute John Waters.
Just to stretch a little bit further and what makes me uncomfortable, it's beyond just the incest thing and beyond just the fact that there's definitely a power dynamic there where Danny Mills most likely felt pressured into doing this scene just because, it's part of the movie and whatnot. And it was a hard watch. So if you wanna watch this movie, I would even recommend just skipping over it just because I don't think that should just even be consumed, but that's a hot take from me.
Kind of the nice thing about this movie is that a lot of the big shocking stuff is like it's really not relevant. You can just skip it and not miss anything.
Yeah,
that's kind of the nice thing.
Yeah,
you can just skip those parts, and you're not missing much.
You totally could. It's nice too because this movie is genuinely really funny, like really funny when you take that stuff out.
There's nuggets that are definitely
really
worth taking from.
And
it's not that long either.
No, hour and a half.
But yeah, so they do that, and then they hear
they lick everything. They do the fellatio.
They do the fellatio, and then they hear the kidnapped women in the basement. They hear
Channing, and then Channing leads them to the kidnapped women. They free the kidnapped women. They let the kidnapped women do whatever they want with Channing, which leads to them castrating him.
Yeah.
Divine then leaves to find her trailer ablaze.
Whoa!
Rest in peace.
In peace, trailer. But that sets her on a warpath with her family. Their haven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should explain that Edie does leave with the Eggman when they do go get married. So she is never in danger. She got to go with the Eggman to his.
They go up on a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, she quite literally grows up and leaves her baby cage to get put into a wheelbarrow.
Yeah,
off to a beautiful eggy future.
So no one is harmed in the combustion of the RV.
Yes. No one's harmed. No one's there. Divine then goes back to the marbles.
And there's a funny part where we get the payoff to them licking everything because the marbles come home celebrating their victory, quote unquote. And they try to sit on their furniture, but it keeps like literally tossing them off of it.
Yeah, it's like
it's cursed.
It's actually cursed. Like the cursing actually worked somehow.
And you can tell it's just a hand of pushing the cushion up.
Divine and Crackers literally have like magic properties.
They start freaking out too about it.
I know.
Yeah.
They lose their minds. Divine has this the last I don't know, like maybe 10 minutes of the movie is just like amazing delivery from Divine on just her mission that she sets out to do once her trailer's burned down because she's like, I'm gonna kill the marbles. Like, I'm just gonna kill them. She literally grabs a gun and like goes with her family to like go find them, goes back to their house and ties them up and tapes their mouths.
And then they take the marbles out to the woods, and Divine is like, call the press. We're gonna hold a court proceeding in the woods.
Live execution.
And the tabloid media come out to like record this event.
It's so funny because like they actually get introduced as characters and kind of have their own plots. Like they have their own. Each of the interviewers has like a relationship with Divine in a way, like from previous coverages, and then like
they're like,
they
Divine,
also have their own thing going on.
Yeah, it has probably one of the most iconic quotes from the movie where one of them is like, Divine, what are your political beliefs? And Divine's like, kill everyone now.
Yeah.
Don't murder, eat shit. Filth is my politics. Filth is my life.
So
just a
funny.
great line read by Divine.
They do her whole thing with like she's like, and she gives them a trial, and then like the trial is just like the events of the movie that happened, which like the Marbles started it. Let's be honest, and they thought they could come for the title. They just joked. They're just jokers.
When you come for the queen, you best not miss. That's
yeah,
all
exactly.
I gotta say. But yeah, they hold a kangaroo court. And then Divine finds them guilty of like being stupid.
Stupid is I find you guilty of reckless stupidity.
Yep.
Oh god, so fucking funny.
So good. That last like that whole court scene and like just like is
hilarious.
Like,
and then they tie them to a tree, tar and feather them, and then Divine shoots each of them in the head.
Yep.
It's probably one of my favorite lines in the movie, or it's my favorite scenes of the movie. It's specifically on the tabloid reporters when they're like kind of interviewing Divine when they're tar and feathering the marbles. They're like, what if we just don't post this? And Divine's like, well, I'll come and fucking kill you. They're like, yeah, we'll post it. It's good money for us anyway. They see the marbles get assassinated. They don't. The tabloid reporters don't give a shit. They're like, this will be really good money for us. And I think it's just such like a cute little tongue-in-cheek jab at like media, like news media.
Oh, totally. I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Like it's all about like who like the eyes get on it.
Yeah. So for me, at least, that was just kind of like, okay, John Waters isn't just trying to make this the most disgusting thing ever. Like he's saying stuff. You know?
There's something to be said, and like even Divine's like whole rant, like even if it's like a rant and doesn't quite make sense, like it like kind of like going back to what we said earlier on about like how unabashedly all the characters are themselves. Like it's just that to like the nth degree. Like just Divine fully being herself, fully like shedding like the whatever like societal like cage she was in this place, which wasn't like very tight to begin with. Like she's fully breaking it with this like recorded homicide. So like it's just yeah, John Waters is definitely saying something with being Flamingos, which is so interesting. Going into it, I was so scared because I was like, oh, I heard it's filthy, and then like I thought it was like 1970s filthy, but then like you guys told me about the prolapsed asshole. And I was like, okay.
No, it's just filthy.
Wait a second.
It holds
it's like
up.
filthy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like definitely just, anti-puritanical, like United States media.
It's anti-cinema. It's everything that movies stray away from.
Yeah.
in a movie.
Yeah, they're like, let's just fucking do it.
And the movie caps off with this nice, beautiful, like, little, I don't know, this
nice
little
meal.
like moment between the family where they declare to go to Boise for like a whole minute, and they get really excited about going to Boise.
Well, because also you have to remember that Divine is also a wanted criminal, so they're
yes, that's right. Like, Divine is a wanted criminal.
So they decide to go to Boise, and before they leave, we get a lovely little narration saying that Divine isn't just the filthiest person in the world; she's the filthiest actress in the world.
Yeah. And
then the John Waters is like,
this is probably one of the most iconic scenes of the movie.
This is probably the most iconic scene from the movie.
Yeah.
Is Divine literally eating dog feces?
Literally eating a
dog. Eats dog shit off the ground.
Like, and because John Waters says like what you're about to see is actually real.
You can see Divine is like gagging.
Yeah,
struggling.
Just gross.
Which, in my opinion, and I know I've been talking a lot, but in my opinion, for the disgust factor, I think this was the most well executed out of all the scenes because the joke is on like the actress, it's on the person making it. You know what I mean? It's not punching
making
down.
fun of anyone like other than that person.
While it was repulsive, you're right. It didn't make me feel
make me feel
uncomfortable in a negative way. So
I mean, like, I'm sure there's stuff before this, but like, what did the Jackass people do? They ate shit.
It's
so funny to
it is
think
kind of
about.
a pioneer in that kind of sense.
Trevor, I'm so glad you said the Jackass guys, because I was going to say, I remember John Waters was in Jackass 2.
Yeah, wait, he was?
He plays the magician. He's in like one skit, yes.
That's so funny. They have to be. I mean, like, there's a little bit, because, like, just, his stuff is on the fringe. It's counterculture. It's,
It's just like the Stan Lee of gross shit.
Yeah.
There was, and it's funny, too, because the whole eating dog shit scene is so iconic, kind of, and associated with this movie, and with Divine, that the actor Divine, aka Glenn Milstead, I think I read that he said for a long time people would always be like, oh, like all these rumors, like, oh, like Divine loves to eat dog shit and blah blah blah, like he's such a freak, and Divine was always very like blunt about it, just being like, well, I did it because it was in the script, like like I didn't like doing it. I did it because,
interesting.
I did it because John Waters wrote it in the movie, and I was like, I'm a team player, like, let's do it.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Yeah,
I didn't like doing it.
Yeah, Divine is very evidently like
not enjoying
it.
And Divine had a very long well, I mean, cut short, fortunately.
Yeah.
Because he died, I want to say in the 80s. He died shortly after
88.
88. He died shortly after Hairspray came out. Which was his last movie.
Do you know cause of death? This isn't a true crime podcast. I was just curious.
I think what was it? I want to say it was like, I don't know why I'm saying like heart issues. Let me just Google it.
Bad case of eczema.
While Christian looks that up, I just want to say that heart failure. Oh, yeah. Unfortunate. Divine really was like an icon.
I think that like there's a lot of people out there who know the character without having seen like material, and like for sure just make the jump and do it. Like, just watch Pink Flamingos. Like, I endorse Pink Flamingos, however, I do find it to be gross. But that's the point.
That's the point. No, the point is disgusting. So
I just, everyone is so on point in this movie. Like, you can tell this was a real like passion project in the sense that like, they're all friends, and like we want to make your vision come to life, and we're all like, there's a real kind of scrappiness to it that I really admire from like a filmmaking perspective.
Well, I mean, I think that like it's also like illustrated in the plot too, in terms of like just that like sort of family that Divine has, albeit as fucked up as it is like a family. Like, they treat each other well, much better than the Marbles do, and they like have a whole like operation and like wealth. Honestly,
in this world, you can kind of there's a comparableness even in their awfulness.
Yeah,
like,
it's it's the Jonesies. They want what Divine has, but they can never ever reach the heights that Divine and her clan has.
You are not him. You are not him.
Yeah, I want to give a little fun fact. First of all, this movie's budget was only $10,000, which is in the 70s. It's not terrible, still very low. But they did a lot with it, and I did think it was really funny. So the art department's budget was only $200, which is like nothing.
That's insane.
They bought the entire trailer for $100.
Oh,
nice.
Decorated the trailer for $100, and then anything else they needed, they stole.
That's so funny.
Which is very cunty.
Only to burn it down.
Only to burn it down, which is hilarious.
It's literally burning money on screen.
Yeah.
I made the joke earlier where I was like, I bet reading the script is really good incentive to like know your lines, because you would not want to fuck up and redo a lot of these scenes.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, there's a lot of really neat trivia about it. It is very much a cultural icon.
Cult classic, cultural icon. Landmark cinema, deserves an exhibit in the Academy Motion Pictures Museum for a rotation. It's going on for like a year now, which like I'm glad I went to it.
Yeah.
Because before I was kind of like, whatever. But I'm glad I went to it and went through it because it was a really cool exhibit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when. We all don't
This
know when
will
the
air,
episode's
yeah.
going up, but if it is still there, definitely would highly recommend.
Even
check
if you
it
don't
out.
know a John Waters movie, go.
They have a bunch of props and costumes from all of his major films in chronological order, and all these really cool stuff.
I still want to watch the one with Johnny Knoxville, where it's like a movie.
Cecil B. Demented.
Yes.
Yeah, that one came out I think the early aughts. I think.
That seems like a movie that I want to see.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but it from the clips we saw at the museum, it looked very funny.
All in all, Pink Flamingos, man. I gotta say, I enjoyed myself when it was funny and smart because it's there. The shock is there, and you know you're getting into it, and you're watching the shock. So I mean, it is what it is, and you know there's some fun shock and there's some not some fun shock. I gotta say, fellas, for me, I'm gonna give it a Trevor seal of approval. You know, I'm gonna say like, watch this movie. It's landmark cinema. It's good stuff. But in terms of like a personal rating that I gotta give it, it's gonna be a 6 for me. There's a lot of good, but it's not something I would say that is amazing. However, I do think people should watch it. Ryan?
See, I've only seen this movie through like literally just memes and out of context clips and like YouTube poops and just YouTube videos. And watching it, it's just way more bizarre than what you actually think it is. It's like the prolapse thing didn't really bother me. Obviously, like the sexual assault stuff, unsettling and just kind of gross. It's at times it's a hard watch, but it's so charming and funny in parts. And it has fun with it. You could tell, like during the party scene, having fun. It's just kind of like it's literally just a kickback world building, I guess. You see all the fun characters. I think it's a good watch. If you're a movie person, watch this. I'm definitely going to give it like a 7. I think that's a good score. It's tough to watch at times, but you could easily skip that.
Yeah, you could so easily skip the shocking stuff and just watch the fun movie. I'm leaning towards 7, but yeah.
I'll jump in. I will look Carla Hayden directly in the eyes, Librarian of Congress. I'll look her direct in the eyes and say, you know what, Carla, you're right. You're right. This deserves to be in the National Film Registry. It's iconic. It's incredibly iconic.
It's iconic.
To bounce off what Ryan and Trevor are saying, this movie, I got some of like the deepest belly laughs I've gotten out of a comedy in quite a while. I'm an avid comedy fan. This movie tickles me in a way that I haven't really been tickled before. It truly is like an internet shit post, but produced. Going off of that, it doesn't feel like a Meet the Spartans or a Scary Movie or whatever. It's not like that kind of dumb humor. Like it's written smart dumb humor.
It's its own thing for sure.
It's not making fun of a property. Yeah. It's making fun of like I guess its own.
Yeah,
own culture.
It truly is creative camp drag, and it was just such a fun watch. It obviously has its downfalls. It has those parts that we mentioned that just don't look great. It feels a bit predatory and a bit punching down. You can skip those without having a problem. But all in all, I'll give it a 7. I just want to say the TRACcast are our allies, and we shake our head at homophobes.
Shame on.
True.
I wag my finger.
Wag fingers, bite thumbs, shake heads, and I'll pop in as well as I am wont to do. This movie, I think a lot of its score, at least for me, is in terms of both kind of the best aspects of it. I think the acting, the writing, or I think the writing more than the acting, but I think the acting and writing kind of go hand in hand. Like I think they know how to deliver this very weird dialogue. They do it excellently. But I think it's such an influential film, and that's such a big part of why I think it's going to get my score of a 7. Like, if you've ever enjoyed a midnight movie, stuff like Rocky Horror Picture Show and these kind of iconic, campy, big event kind of things, you go to the movies and you watch them with everyone in a big crowd. This is definitely one of those influential films in that regard. and I think it's kind of deserving of its status in the history of film and what it brings to the medium. So, yeah, I think a 7 is a good score for it. I don't think it's an amazing movie, but what it does do, I think it does quite well.
Drink tight, Dr. Kelp.
Purple Flurp. I'm more of a Purple Flurp kind of guy.
And with that, we want to thank everyone for listening to another episode of today's review of Assorted Cinema, otherwise known as the TRACcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Trevor.
I'm Ryan.
Hi, I'm Aref.
I'm Christian.
And tune in next time when we watch the Apple 2007 keynote.
Well, fuck, that's what the iPhone 2G.
That was when the iPhone was announced, I think. I thought it was 2007.
That's when the lady came in the audience and threw the big sledgehammer at the screen, right?